Hi and welcome back for a new project. I've mixed some Payne's Grey and Greenish Umber to create the color I want to use on my project today. And to start off, I'm coloring a piece of watercolor paper as I want two completely colored rectangles. I also want my usual backgrounds, and I'm also coloring a smaller piece where I'll cut out a rectangle after stamping. I love how my background looks, but I just want it a tiny bit darker at the top, so I'm adding a bit of color there. Everything is dry, so I can start my stamping, and I'm starting off with this Fibonacci stamp, where I only want this little rectangle, so I'm going to mask off those thicker lines, which will leave me with a perfect rectangle. As I'm stamping on texturized watercolor paper, and since I'm using grey ink, I'm coming back a second time to make sure I have a good print. I also took out this elemental stamp from Visible Image, of which I'll only use some parts. So I've cut up my paper so I can easily stamp the parts I want to use. Since I'm only using tiny pieces of paper, I can't use my magnets, so I just tape down my paper. As you can see, my rectangle isn't stamped straight onto my paper, yet I want to tear my edges with my print facing down. So what I did was putting my paper against the window so I could trace my rectangle on the back. I could tear my edges with my stamping facing up, but that would leave me with a white border and I don't want that. Time to create some depth, so I'm laying down some color on the inside of my Fibonacci curve. While my coloring is drying, I can stamp my words, and I've chosen this Voices in Your Headset, of which I want to use the words define and you. So I'm masking off the rest, so I can stamp both words separately, and then I'll heat set them using some silver embossing powder. The final touch is for my curve, on which I want to add some metal foil. This glue from PBO is perfect as it has a very fine tip. As you can see, the glue goes on white, but you have to wait until it becomes clear before you can add the foil. And now my glue is completely clear, I can add the foil.